Good day, everyone. Welcome to today's sharing on Catechesis. In our previous video, we discussed on the word catechesis from its Greek root, katechen. We looked at its meaning, the various forms of catechesis, its importance, and how the daughters of St. Paul come in as agents of catechesis. Today, we shall be looking at the role of catechesis in evangelization. What is evangelization? When we talk about evangelization, some of us might be tempted to narrow it down to the initial hearing of the gospel for conversion. But evangelization is much more than that. According to Pope Paul VI in his apostolic exhortation, Evangelisation, he said that for the church, evangelizing means bringing in the good news of our Lord Jesus Christ into all the strata of humanity by transforming it from within and making it anew. What do we mean by this transformation? By transformation, the Pope meant that it is allowing the power of the gospel to make effective our criteria for judgment, determining values, points of interest, our lines of thoughts, our sources of inspiration, models of life, which are in contrast with the gospel and the plan of salvation. So we know that evangelization is a process. That is where catechesis comes in as a stage in evangelization. Are they both related? Yes, they are. Because the evangelization introduces one to the faith. But catechesis now takes one through the process of conversion by providing a procedure, leading to education of the person, making our faith living, conscious, and active. Now, what is the role of catechesis in evangelization? The first thing we have to know is that catechesis is very vital when we talk about evangelization because it gives that structure, the structure of continuous teaching, because evangelization is a process. Catechesis comes in to make that process a fruitful one, to make one to be able to own one's faith. But for you to own it, you have to understand it. So catechesis helps us to understand the faith and helps us to be authentic in living out our faith through the other activities you can come in, like aspect of cultivating virtues, the aspect of continuous growing in our spiritual living, the aspect of knowing our role in evangelizing, because all of us are called to evangelize, and also knowing how to reach out to our brothers and sisters. So all this is what catechesis helps us to do. Then we also look at the aspect of style of dialogue. This is actually suggested by the new directory for catechesis, that catechesis should take that dialogical style, like the one between Jesus and the Samaritan woman at the well. So it makes the faith authentic because it will spring from the heart, knowing that one is not judged, but rather that dialogue makes one to have a personal faith encounter, those parts or areas of life that needs conversion, because you speak from your heart, nobody is judging you. And then also catechesis as a process makes one to really go through a particular systematic process, because we're not excused from catechesis, and none of us had outgrown catechesis, because it is a lifelong journey. We all have experiences. Some of us end up with the initial catechesis we receive before the reception of the sacrament of initiation. But other than that, we know nothing. But catechesis is metagogical, it's continuous. Then we look at the aspect of making evangelization alive today. Because Pope John Paul II talks about catechesis today. So which means catechism must adapt that aspect of evangelizing everyone, including children. You have the youth, you have the young adults, you have the adults, you have the elderly, and those who have no exposure to religious education. So catechesis bring in all these people together. It is also important to note that catechesis matures the initial faith we have received through evangelization. I would like to conclude by throwing a question to all of us. What actions have you taken to own your faith? Try today, with the course of the day, to make extra effort to ask questions concerning your faith or read more about your faith so that you'll be able to become firmer even in sharing your faith to others, because you have to know it, you have to own it, and you have to appreciate it. You have to be willing to make it active, to make it alive and living today. With love from the Daughters of St. Paul, have a blessed day.